thank you for watching. Here is a quick rundown of applications that I like to use as a guitar player. Please like and subscribe. We're on our journey to 1,000 subscribers and we'd like you to come with us. I'm just going to start with the first one. This is the Haptik app. The Haptik app is really cool. It basically syncs up with a wearable. It works as a externally sounding metronome, but it also will connect to your watch. You could tap your tempo, or you could set that tempo, and it can also record what you do into your voice memos. This will basically send a pulse to your wrist while you're playing to help you keep time, and it's fantastic for solo guitar playing and trying to improve your timing. Haptik is charged. There's a cost to it. So my second favourite application for guitar is Chord AI. Now Chord AI is really cool because you can basically find a song, listen to it, and then it will work out the chords. So I am very much a believer in being able to work those chords out. If I find a song, and it will quickly work out the chords and show me them as I'm playing them. That's really useful, isn't it, if you're in your learning journey. So there we go, and it will show you in real time and you can play along with it. I think there are other options with this as well. You can slow things down as you go in. You could loop sections, so here's your speed. So I could slow that down to half speed if I'm struggling with my chord changes. And I've also got the option of looping sections and altering the pitch, which is fantastic because sometimes when you're playing a song, they're slightly out of pitch. So this is a really good way that you could get a song to be more in pitch with concert tuning or whatever we're using to perform with. So that's my second recommendation. Another app which I think is really good is iTuner. I never carry an original tuner with me unless I'm gigging. So when I do a gig, when I'm playing a gig, I obviously use a tuner on my pedal board. This will use the microphone of your guitar, and it will do it chromatically. So a lot of the guitar tuners that we use on the apps in the app space will be set up EAD-GBE, which are the notes of your guitar. But if you wanted to experiment with your tunings, this would be perfect because you could literally tune the strings to whatever note you want, and it will also recognise them. If you're really far out of tune, you can see where you need to go. So this is really good. There are other good there's another good feature to this where it will generate sounds for you. So if you want to learn how to tune by ear or recognise tones, you could press an A on here. Another good app is which will hit a lot of beginner musicians, might be What Chord. So this will let you draw in a chord and it will identify what that is. So if I move that to there, A minor, A sus, you can start developing your understanding and knowledge of chords. But also when you put your hands on the guitar, some people want to understand what a chord is and what elements are in a chord. It just helps them really understand the way something's sounding and the way that relates to playing guitar. So this is really good. I recommend learning your chord spellings and things so you can do this yourself in the moment. But this is quite a good thing if you're getting stuck or if you're being shown a chord and you want to know where it fits in the theory of things. That's a good little app. So that's What Chord. This is a free app, by the way. This app is a paid app. It's called Solo. Solo, I'm just showing you on the iPad, but this one does work on phones as well. And basically you can use this to practice with. So one of the cool things about Solo is you could put in a workout. Okay, you could put your level in, so you could select a level and you can build your own guitar workout. So let's say we wanted to do some triads and we wanted to do them. Look at all these songs here. These are imported So on the solo app, I can put a chord progression in there. Giant steps is pretty crazy, but if I have a look on there, set the workout, I would then have to play the intervals of these as they come along, and it will recognise them. Once it's recognised them, it will move on to the next chord. So it's quite good. You could do this to practice arpeggios or scales, and it will listen to your guitar and what you're playing. So it works for scales, and then there are tutorials on there as well. So this is a really good way to apply your music theory knowledge into your practice in a way that you can set up yourself and just go through that. So yeah, I find that a really good piece of practice software. The other one is Moises. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of Moises, but if you're not, and there are quite a few alternatives to this now, but Moises will basically listen to a song. Here's a song, and you can. You have to put in the song, and then what you do is it will identify what it is, but you'll also be able to change. It'll turn certain instruments into stems. So if I go onto this song here, it's stemmed it out, and it'll have the vocal and then the music separate. So I could take that vocal out or just have the vocal. Now Moises has a paid option, and when you pay for Moises, you can actually strip out other instruments. So if you play drums, for example, you could take the drums out. So you can get a full mix, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's have a quick look at what comes with it. So if we go on here, this has built a little mix for me, and I can rechange this to see what parts of the stems or what parts I want to hear. So this could take the kick out and just leave the snare. It can take the rhythm guitar down or off, and it just gives me a complete section there, and it's fantastic if you're trying to practice or learn a song. So that's Moises. This is the one, my Desert Island app for guitar and any instrument really, is the iReal book. So the Real book was a real kind of tool for learning music when I was younger, when I was at university. It was a book with thousands and thousands of songs written down in charts. And then on here, basically, when you download this app, it does cost $19.99. But this I use probably more than anything else. If I need to pull a chart together really quickly, I can build a little playlist. And there's some playlists on here that I've had to use in the past. Function gig. So I've got on here 300 songs. If somebody says we've got to play 500 miles, I can make sense of that and turn that into the song and just play it. So you can download these for free using the forum, and you can make your own as well. So here's a forum. I can find a song on here. Let's say here's one, Ain't Nobody, right, which is the old Chaka Khan song. And you can build your playlist from there. You can also edit. You can change the key, transpose it, and it will also play a version of it in MIDI as well if you wanted to practice some soloing or melody playing over the top of it. So that is a really useful piece of software that I recommend using to everybody really, because you've got on the forum there are just thousands and thousands, and people make the songs and they upload them as well. So there's one here. This was the start of a chart that I'd made, but you know, that for me just made sense for the beginning of that song. I made this chart for a version of Take On Me that I had to play. There you can see where all the chords are. I've put in some repeat marks. It's pretty good, and it's really quick and intuitive to use. So the iReal book. And then finally, for every gig where I've got to do some kind of reading, I use an app called Forscore. And one of the main reasons why Forscore, there are many features that are great with Forscore, but a lot of the musicians that I work with will use Forscore for authoring, not for authoring, but for sharing and making notes. So, and I can even put PDFs in here as well. So if I've got a real book chart, I can do that, but I could also just say, like, I've been given this chart for a gig where I've been depping. Notes are all in there. The person that wrote these out, he's really good at authoring. It's all in there, and it can follow it. This syncs up with another app that I use. This syncs up with a pedal that you can get as well. So you can get a Bluetooth pedal, syncs up with your iPad. So when you're on stage, you can literally follow the score and use it to turn pages without having to touch anything. So these are fantastic things to help with practice and pulling sets together. This is a set that I did a few years ago where I just had to pull everything together really quickly, and there I can see, you know, I've even done a handwritten chart here with my sounds. You know, it's really quite cool. To me, that made a lot of sense. I had to get it down really quickly. So that's Forscore. GarageBand is an all-in-one sort of digital audio station. I think it comes with a cost now. The great thing about GarageBand is you've got two approaches to creating music on it. You can do it the old school way, or you can just create music. So I'm going to just go on here. I can make music using loops and beats and that kind of thing. So if I do something like this, and it's great for sort of younger people and children who want to just learn how to combine sounds to make, you know, to make something into music, and everything quantizes with itself. So all your beats and everything kind of match up. So there you go, and you could make backing tracks out of that. So once you're happy with these loops, you kind of have these different things going on at once. And then what the other approach that you could take is actually just creating music like you would on a normal DAW. So you could start by adding instruments in. Also, and it's had this for a while, you know, your AI drummer sort of thing, Kyle. And I can give Kyle different parts of the drum kit, and it'll make a little drum loop there. And then I can make another one after that does something slightly different if I need it to. You can work in track mode. So if I was working in track mode, I could use a virtual guitar. This is good for airplane rides, you know, and it will kind of respond like a guitar. Or you can use single note style, which is kind of how we're used to playing guitars. One of the other things that if you connect your guitar to GarageBand, which is what it's kind of like what you'll want to do, I think, if you're a player, is you can audio record as an instrument. So this will give it for your acoustic guitar. This is great because you can give it kind of different vibes. But the other cool thing is, hopefully I can do this on a new channel. It will have guitar amp modelers, so I could plug in. I've got my little guitar there. There's one for bass. You can build a tiny pedal board with some little pedals, you know, and the wahs kind of touch. I don't know how you're going to play and edit the wah, but there you go. But it's very, very cool. You know, so that is a really good way to start if you want to get sounds. It would work better with headphones for playing live, but I think you can set it to audio monitor, so the sound might come out of your iPad, you know, in real time, but you won't really get the right frequencies. So I always recommend using something like competition going, where if you are a subscriber and we get to 1,000, and that's my little roundup. If you feel like I've missed something, it'd be great to leave a comment. These are things that I use on the regular. I'm really interested to know what other people like to use, and I hope you find this useful. Please subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers. We've got a competition going where if you are a subscriber and we get to 1,000, we'll be giving away a pedal. And enjoy your journey playing. I hope this is inspirational in some way, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.